Ready for another deep dive? This time we're heading into the world of African folk tales. And let me tell you, this one's a real grabber. We found this gem on YouTube, a video from JF Teach Me. You know those stories that stick with you long after you've heard them? Yeah, this is one of those.
Definitely. It's a classic tale for sure. But the way this particular video brings it to life is just, wow, it's something else. You're not just listening to a story, you're right there in it. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so picture this. We're in Bika, a peaceful little village tucked away in the hills. You know, the kind of place where life is simple, everybody knows everybody else. You can almost smell the fresh air and hear the laughter of children playing, right?
Yeah, it paints a really vivid picture.
It does. But then suddenly, everything changes. A shadow falls over Bika, young women start dying, and it's all very mysterious. Each victim is found with these strange bite marks on their necks.
And not just any bites, they're described as snake-like. So right from the start, the storyteller is using this powerful symbol, you see.
Oh, I see what you mean. The serpent. It's like a universal symbol for danger, temptation, maybe even hidden knowledge.
Exactly. It's like a warning sign flashing for the audience, like, watch out, something's not right here.
I like that, a warning sign. Okay, so the village is in full-on panic mode. Nobody knows what's going on, and the fear is just, it's palpable. Ray Soda, the village leader, he's desperate for answers. He sends hunters into the forest, but they come back empty-handed. The deaths continue, and Bika, that once peaceful little village, is now consumed by suspicion and fear.
It's so smart how the storyteller builds this sense of paranoia, right?
It is. How do you think that adds to the story's impact? I mean, why is that so effective?
Well, it puts you right there in the village with them. You can feel that weight of the unknown, the way fear can just tear a community apart, you know? It's really unsettling.
It is. It makes you realize how fragile peace can be. And that brings us to the arrival of, well, let's just say he's a very interesting character. His name is Yovo. Yes, Yovo, the village heartthrob. Now, I'm not one to be easily swayed by, good looks, but even reading the description of this guy, I have to admit, I was a little intrigued.
Yeah, he's quite the charmer, isn't he?
He is. Strong, handsome, smooth skin, eyes that sparkle with this hint of knowing. The storyteller really lays it on thick.
It's almost like they're making him too perfect. Too good to be true.
Right, and that's where the brilliance comes in. They make Yovo this irresistible force, and of course the women of Bika are completely captivated.
Totally. He swoops in and eases their fears, makes them laugh, and he just seems completely unfazed by all the death and chaos around him. It's like he knows something nobody else does.
Exactly. That hint of knowing in his eyes, it's such a chilling detail, isn't it? It makes you wonder, was that intentional? Did the storyteller put that in there to foreshadow Yovo's true nature?
Oh, absolutely. It's a subtle clue, but it plants a seed of doubt in the listener's mind. Like, we're drawn to Yovo, but at the same time, something feels a little off.
It's like a little voice whispering, be careful, this guy might be trouble.
Exactly. And that makes everything he does even more unsettling, even more creepy.
And believe me, things are about to get a whole lot creepier. Because Yovo, he doesn't just charm the women, he seduces them, lures them to his secluded hut under the moonlight. And just when things are getting intimate, he asks this really strange question.
Oh yeah, the question.
The question, do you know the difference between a man's virility and a serpent's?
Talk about a mood killer, right?
Right. Who says that? But it's not just a random weird question, is it?
No, it's loaded with meaning. It links Yovo directly to the serpent, hinting at a connection that goes way beyond just physical attraction.
So he's dropping these little hints, these little nuggets of unease, almost like he wants them to know on some level what's coming.
Like he's playing with them.
He is. But the women, they're blinded by his charm. They brush it off as a joke.
They have no idea that Yovo's charm is just a mask, hiding a very dark secret.
And that secret is about to be revealed in a truly terrifying way.
This is where the story takes a seriously dark turn. With this, strange whistle, Yovo summons a venomous snake from his clothes.
From his clothes?
From his clothes. And it bites the women right on the neck before vanishing back into the shadows.
Oh, that's awful. It's like something out of a nightmare. And how does Yovo react?
That's the really chilling part. He's completely emotionless. Detached. Like it was nothing to him.
That's so disturbing. It makes him more than just a killer. It makes him something much colder, much more calculating.
Exactly. He's orchestrating these murders, and he's doing it with this chilling precision. He leaves the bodies to be found in the village square just to add to the terror.
He's playing a game with these people, a very twisted game.
And he's winning, at least for now.
Yeah.
But Yovo's reign of terror, it's not going to last forever.
No.
A new character arrives in Bika, a woman named Kosa, and she's different.
Kosa. She's described as strong, confident, not one to be easily swayed by, a pretty face. You get the sense she can see right through people, that she's not fooled by charm.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Especially not Yovo's brand of charm.
What do you think it is about Kosa that makes her immune to his tricks?
I think it's a combination of things, really. Her inner strength for sure, but also her past experiences. Remember, she's come to Bika to visit her aunt, but as the story unfolds, we learn she's carrying a lot of pain, a secret pain that drives her.
You're talking about her best friend, Afi, right?
Exactly. Afi died under very similar circumstances in a neighboring village. And before she died, she described her lover to Kosa. And guess what?
The description matches Yovo perfectly.
Bingo. It's such a clever way to build suspense, don't you think? The storyteller gives us these little echoes, these connections that start to raise the stakes.
So Kosa suspects Yovo right from the start, but she needs proof.
She's not going to jump to conclusions.
No. So while everyone else is falling head over heels for Yovo, Kosa keeps her distance. She sees the darkness lurking beneath that charming exterior, the predator hiding in plain sight.
In Yovo, he's completely thrown off guard. He's used to women, fawning over him. So Kosa's indifference is a challenge he can't resist.
He tries everything to win her over, offering help, trying to strike up conversations, the whole 9 yards. But Kosa, she's not playing his game.
She has her own agenda. She needs to outsmart him, to play along just enough to lure him into a trap.
Which is easier said than done, right? I mean, how do you defeat a man who controls a venomous serpent? It seems impossible.
Right. It's like, where do you even begin? Well, this is where the folktale takes this really interesting turn. Kosa decides to seek guidance from a powerful oracle, a figure who embodies wisdom and ancient knowledge.
The oracle. Sort of like a wise woman or shaman.
Yeah, exactly. Someone who can see things others can't. And the oracle confirms Kosa's suspicions. Yovo is not just a charmer, he has a supernatural power, a serpent that does his bidding.
Whoa. So it's not just a story about deception and murder anymore, it's about good versus evil, light versus darkness.
Right, it takes on this whole other dimension. And the oracle doesn't just reveal Yovo's secret, they also give Kosa a way to defeat him, a silver flute.
A silver flute?
A silver flute, it's a sacred instrument, and it has the power to control the serpent if you play a specific tune.
Wow, that's amazing. The silver flute is such a powerful symbol, It represents Kosa's strength, her resilience, her ability to fight back against something so much bigger than herself.
It's like this symbol of hope, the power of good to overcome evil.
But it also raises a question. Why Kosa? Why does the oracle choose her for this mission? What makes her worthy?
Good question. Maybe it's her determination to avenge her friend's death, or maybe it's her refusal to be seduced by Yovo's charm, that ability to see through the facade.
Whatever the reason, Kosa accepts the challenge. She takes the silver flute and prepares to face Yovo.
And the tension starts to build. Kosa allows Yovo to think he's winning her over. She plays along with his advances, lets him lead her to his secluded hut.
I can only imagine the kind of courage that takes. She's walking into the lion's den knowing what awaits her there.
But she has a weapon now. A weapon that might just save her life.
Inside the hut, the atmosphere is thick with anticipation. And Yovo, feeling confident, repeats his cryptic question, the one he's asked all his other victims. Do you know the difference between a man's virility and a serpent's?
But this time, Kosa doesn't laugh it off. She doesn't recoil in fear. She knows the answer.
And she's about to reveal it.
Yovo, still playing his game, whistles his eerie tune, summoning the venomous serpent. It slithers out from its hiding place, heading straight for Kosa.
This is it, the moment of truth. But Kosa, she's ready. She brings the silver flute to her lips and plays a haunting melody.
And the serpent stops in its tracks. Its head sways back and forth, mesmerized by the music. The power has shifted. The hunter has become the hunted.
This is incredible. Kosa is in control now. She plays the flute, weaving a spell of sound that binds the serpent to her will.
And with a final, powerful note, she directs the serpent towards Yovo.
His own weapon turned against him.
Exactly. Yovo can only watch in horror as the serpent, his loyal companion, turns on him.
Yeah, strikes.
The serpent sinks its fangs into Yovo, his charm and power instantly gone. Justice is served. But Kosa's journey isn't over yet. She needs to expose Yovo's crimes and free the village from his grip of fear.
So Yovo's gone. You'd think everyone could finally breathe a sigh of relief, right? But Kosa's work isn't done.
No, not yet. This guy, he had everyone fooled. He built this whole persona of, charm and innocence.
Right, so how do you convince an entire village they've been tricked? It's not going to be easy.
Not at all. Kosa has to prove what Yovo really was, to expose him for the monster he truly is.
So she comes out of the hut, she's holding the silver flute in one hand and in the other. Well, let's just say she has proof.
Proof that can't be ignored.
Exactly. Can you imagine being there? The villagers, they're looking at this woman, this outsider, and she's telling them that the man they admired, the man they trusted, he was a killer.
A cold-blooded killer. The whole thing just makes you think, right? About how evil can hide in plain sight.
It really does. So what happens next? Does Bika finally find peace?
They do. The story ends with this sense of liberation. Almost like a weight has been lifted.
Yovo's name becomes a warning, a story parents tell their children to, teach them about the dangers of trusting appearances.
Right. He becomes a cautionary tale, a reminder that things aren't always what they seem.
And Kosa, what becomes of our hero?
She's celebrated, of course, hailed as a savior, a symbol of courage and strength. But what I find so interesting is that she doesn't want any of that. She doesn't want power or recognition.
She just wanted justice for her friend.
Exactly. It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest acts, the acts of love and loyalty, they're the most powerful of all.
This folktale, it's just, wow. It has everything, mystery, fear, a strong female hero, and this message about trusting your gut, about not being fooled by superficial charm.
And it makes you think, doesn't it? How often do we let ourselves be blinded by a charming exterior? Are we paying attention to the signs, the little red flags that are right there in front of us?
This whole deep dive has really given me chills. It makes you think twice about who you trust.
It does. The serpent's charm might be alluring, but it's the wisdom and courage of people like Kosa that really make a difference in the world.
Well said. And on that note, I think we'll wrap things up here. This has been another fascinating deep dive. We'll see you next time with another captivating story, another chance to explore the hidden depths of, just about anything.
Until then, stay curious and remember, keep your eyes open. You never know what secrets might be lurking beneath the surface